Hello, Taurus. Welcome to Karma on Deck. I'm Karma. This is your Taurus weekly reading for the week of, July 20th. Let's take a look and see what this energy is looking like for you guys. Glad we're finally clear of Mercury. Great. Week out. All right, let's shuffle these really quick. Don't forget, take a look and see how the stars are playing for you. Cards have to say. Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords usually, it's typically the energy of like overwhelm. If you look at this card, he has blinders on and he's got all of these obstacles kind of in front of him that makes him have this feeling of just like, I call that my batting cage, where it feels as if there's some pretty incredible, rapidly moving elements. If you can imagine yourself in a batting cage, for example, like there's one after another and they're coming fast. You can't even take your eye off this ball and look around and go, hey, did you see I hit that one? It's not even that easy, right? I see the Justice card. Usually the Justice card references us having legal matters, mediation, paperwork, documents, something that you'd have to sign. So this is a contract of some sort. It might even, this is anything that has to do with legal matters, going to court, paying a ticket, filing for divorce, buying a house, signing for a loan, things like that. Empress is in play. Those are your two major cards, the Justice card and the Empress. Page of Swords. Page of Swords gives you this irritated energy. The Page and Knight of Swords are both kind of typical. Page and Knight of Swords. So you might find that being like a little bit snappy. Okay, there's your overwhelm, your anxiety, you're having a hard time believing in things right now. This is my Loch Ness monster. He's pretty pragmatic. He, has a healthy view toward things, with pragmatism being the key, being aware, a little bit of a skeptic, a little bit of distrust. Sometimes when we see, Loch Ness monster, we don't trust the information or the source, right? So we're vetting our information before we make a decision. Anxiety and overwhelm, both the Eight of Swords and the Ten of Wands are similar energy. One is overwhelm and the other is anxiety. Hear my channeling, I'm about to see. The Four of Wands, which is you having a foundation that you're worried about, making sure your structure's solid and sound. We have the Nine of Cups, which is celebration. So you know that if you hold out and it's worth it, that you can make sure that you maintain a certain, level of awareness on things, that it'll pay off in the long run. We also have the Moon card, pretty similar to the Four of Wands, but the Moon card is a journey, like planning your future, worrying about. I remember when I first got my relationship with this card, and why I always say it has to do with mapping is because we have these two pillars of knowledge. This means you're taking whatever education, life lessons, situation, and you're comparing it, where I've been to where I'm going. And what good is a map if you don't know where you are on the map? Like, it doesn't matter. The map can tell you where everything is, but unless you know where you are on the map, you can't tell which direction to turn and where you need to go with it. We have the Sun card, summertime, Leo, very much balanced energy and celebration. You're trying to find some balance within your life, and you want to get to having a good time again. You want to get things structured in such a way that you're enjoying your life. We have the Empress and the Hierophant, both of those in play. The Empress is your protective energy. Like, if you're not going to do it, I'll do it. It's like, okay, so this little herd of children, or this little project, or this house, or yourself, this is all about protective. And she has an egg and a little child in her lap. And usually the Empress means pregnancy. An Empress can sometimes indicate, a fullness. Times of change often come with the Empress. When it's time to change, you can feel it heavy, like a storm rolling in. It's about to happen. Being pregnant and that baby dropping, and any minute now you're going to go in, have that little adventure, right? The Hierophant is always indicates our life lessons. However, sometimes it points to the machinations that are going on around us. If you notice here, this is a pope and he has a puppet, right? And he's pulling these strings and there's all the religious symbols within it and it challenges our beliefs. We wonder how much is designed to get us to believe and how much of the belief systems are pulling on us. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean the machine of a belief, but it also could be the belief that's within us. As we challenge that and look at it, there's all this lightning here that indicates a sudden aha or an awareness. We also see the King of Cups in play, which I like, which is EQ. The King of Cups is all about mastering those emotions, where the Queen is about feeling those emotions. So as you're mastering your outward expression of how you're behaving around others and how the tone of your moods are and whether you're in control of them or not, that's EQ. Allowing a mood or an emotion to process through us, analyzing it and seeing where we sit with it, healing those past wounds, healing our past lives, shadow work, right? That might even be your title, shadow work, like where we find ourselves in how we think and feel, because how we think and feel about everything is what drives our life. So we have the moon card mapping. Sometimes these are journeys that we don't want to take, but we know are necessary and we organize them. There's a lot of fear involved with moving forward in some respects, especially with the anxiety and overwhelm that's going on. So we're just treading softly, Taurus. We're just being careful and cautious. Education is a big one for you too. We have the Page of Wands. You might be taking on a course, doing some intense study, maybe going back to school, but this isn't a major higher education. That's usually the Hierophant or the the Hierophant can usually mean higher education too. So you might be going back to school or considering it, or maybe taking on some education and modalities. Let's pull a card for you from Mystic Dreamer and do your Taurus moon reading. And then we'll pull a card from Mystic Dreamer. If you want to get your one-on-one with me, karmaondeck.com. There's also some pretty exciting stuff on there. There's a Tarot 101 class, so you don't have to take a personal session. You can jump in the class and it's not going to cost you as much, but you'll get 6 lessons or lectures, everything from how to pick a deck to understanding the majors and the symbols that are common throughout different decks, doing the spreads, the minors, some practice and Q&A sessions too. Lots going on there. There's also a 6-week series on dating. The astrology series is coming. So book appointment or jump in on that class. Chariot card. Page of Wands. The Tower. Woo-wee! So the 7 of Pentacles means harvest. Oop, there's the Empress. I always look for a congruency between the sun and the moon reading. Overwhelm is the 10 of Wands. So I feel and I always pull on this card when I see it. It's like a thread that's underlying the reading. You have the Devil card in play and the 2 of Wands. Maybe you've wanted to dip into some bad habits. The 3 of Cups is celebration. So maybe you've wanted to just escape a little bit. Make sure you don't stay there. I do see the 10 of Cups. You are very careful right now, Taurus, that people don't know where you're at and where you stand with your emotions and what you're thinking. I'm seeing the 10 of Cups. Usually that's Disneyland. We don't like people to be in our business. And in some respects, that could be a good shield, like keeping things private. I do this, okay? My 10 of Cups is me keeping silent on social media regarding politics, regarding Black Lives Matter, regarding different elements that are coming up, not because I don't have a voice, but because my role is very different. A long time ago, I had done some teaching in regards to all of these, and I even lived off the grid for a while. So my personal standpoint on all of that is nobody's business. The work that I do is the work that I do, and you can see me doing it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be a banner across every social media platform in order for me to feel valuable with that, specific tone. So for me, the 10 of Cups is privacy. It's not evading, it's not faking it, it's not being something I'm not. But the 10 of Cups usually is a shield. It's a script, it's a dialogue. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. So the 10 of Cups is, basically you putting that shield up. We do have the 9 of Swords, which is you being, maybe you're having some sleepless nights. Maybe you've had a few where you're sensing that there's things you haven't really addressed or thought about and you're staying up late. Maybe it's indicating insomnia. Maybe it's too much sleep or a need for it. But usually the Nine of Swords means that you've got those little negative feedback loops, those things coming up in the middle of the night. Like the minute your voice gets quiet, boom, here comes the things you haven't addressed. And that's part of the reason why I'm a big proponent for meditation. The first time you shut off all the noise and you get yourself in the bed where it's quiet, boom, all those thoughts are coming up that you didn't address all day. Get yourself into some meditation. Take a look at these things. Go deep. Take it apart. Feel it. Is there a dog out there howling? Jameson's staring at the window. So we also have the Empress that showed up in your general spread. The Empress is your, it's time. We've also got the Seven of Pentacles over here, which is harvest. So you know that there's some things in your life that you have to address, and it's come high time. Okay. You've been sneakily avoiding certain conversations, and you've been kind of bitchy, Queen of Swords, which is you putting up that, notorious for not wanting to let people in. And maybe you're going around the block a couple times so that you don't have to give away what's going on. Okay. But the Three of Cups, two things. This could be you wanting to celebrate, or you have a celebration coming up, or it's just a need that you've been neglecting to get out there, but you've just kind of tossing it up, not sure this is what you want to do. Be careful of your bad habits. The Devil card is also Capricorn. Usually that is us about, bad habits, what's holding us back, the commitments we've got ourselves into. Sometimes it's alcohol or substances. Sometimes it may indicate people that are lying to us, or we could be lying to others. Make sure that this is a shield, because it's okay. You can't look at it as fake. You got to look at it as I just need some space. Or is it fake? Like, pay attention to that. Like, take a look at it, examine it a little bit, try and decide. Let's pull a card for you from Mystic Dreamer. Like I say, like, subscribe, and share. Tell me how you feel your reading went, where you are in the world. Jameson, if you knock my stuff over, it has to get on top of my feet. So he's shoving the desk around to get my legs out of the way so he can lay down. Now his chin is on my. That's funny. All right. This is your divination of the ancients. See what they have to say. What's your messages? Focus. So like I was saying, meditation is focus. This is a scattered energy, arrows going in all different directions. And as you're looking at, all the things that you have to do, you're getting a little overwhelmed. Nine of Swords. So perhaps it's time for you to focus and pick one thing that you can master, one thing you can get done. That's what I finally had to do, was organize and stick with what's most important for me to get done. Not necessarily the whole picture, but just taking it in bite-sized pieces. But let's take a look and see what Arrow has to say by the author. Old lady. Like many arrows on this card, your mind is flitting in many directions and your thoughts are scattered. However, you're being urged to bring some order into your life and make plans. I just did that recently, and it's gotten me a week and a half ahead finally on the projects that I have, because I put dates of what I need to get done, and it actually caused me to get them done early. I had to give some credit where credit is due to my best friend and business partner, Moxie, because she's extremely organized. It's disgusting. So much so that it's just too much data for me. But I told her the other day, I channeled my inner Moxie, and I got an organized plan of what I need to do and when. You are being urged to bring some order into your life and make plans. The only way for you to achieve your dreams is by decluttering all those thoughts well enough to determine what they even are. Meditation. It's time to become like the one arrow in the center of the card that shoots straight and to the point. You can achieve this by taking time out to decide what your goal is, planning how you can reach it, working out a schedule to stick by, and then focusing. You will find that you become stronger and more grounded as you go straight to what you really want in life. Focus on positivity, and you will make your mark. This is the way to good fortune and blessings for the world around you, and ultimately for your incantation for the week is: my mind is like an arrow in flight. It's focused sharp so that I might hit the mark and reach my goal to free my dreams and feed my soul. So it's saying start to prioritize, organize, think things through, plan, map, and calendar. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I'm going to do one final video for this week, and that's going to be Gemini. I love my Gemini. Moxie. So yeah, how can I possibly end the day without Gemini? Like I always say, love is the answer to every question. Love on it, y'all. Come from a place of kindness, of healing, of love, and integrity. If you love on it and just come from that place, in the peaceful place, you can heal it, I promise. Do this together. Transmute. Have a good one. I'll catch you next week.